All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadat. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto thy foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Lord, our brothers to edify. I'm going to go straight to the scripture. It says, Psalms 68:15. The hill of the Most High is the hill of Bashan, on a high hill as a hill of Bashan. Why leap ye high hills? This hill which the Most High desired to dwell in, yea, the Lord will dwell in it forever. So what is that talking about? The hills represent the other nations. The Lord established himself, or established Israel to be the top nation on the planet Earth. But the nations in return are fighting to be the next rulers to come. So the nations gather together with this masterful plan of theirs. And this plan is nothing new. It's old. It's been played before. Matter of fact, let me give one example. Well, I could give two. I could give several. Exhibits. No, actually, I want to go to the other one instead. First Maccabees. One and about 38. It's so much that didn't have it. No, I gotta go up more. Actually, I gotta go down. First Maccabees example. This is an example. First Maccabees 1 and 4. Need 1. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Now I think that it's over. The Hanukkah. No, it was last week. So we're still in the time of Hanukkah. Now, if you know the history of Hanukkah, is when our forefathers fought the Grecians, all right, because of the oppression that they was causing. So you had the Maccabees, all right, Matthias, the father of the Maccabees, that led a rebellion against the Grecians, okay? And there were several battles where we took them with the less numbers, was able to fight off the Grecians because of the Lord's helping his people, that the Lord fought for his people. So we celebrate that. And Antiochus, which was from the Seleucid dynasty, which was the most oppressive of all right, that's why they call him that wicked root. I believe that's in Daniel's 8th chapter. They call him the wicked root. Okay? And one of the main things that he was doing was he was oppressing the Lord's chosen people, but he was one of the main people that was trying to do the same repeated thing as Nimrod. That thing is called the New World Order. So it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So the all being one people was never intended from the beginning of time. Okay, this is why the tower broke. The Lord broke them. Right? He scattered them abroad. He scattered them. He didn't allow them to know each other's language. Okay? The Lord was never about a new world order. having the nations coming together, because now you still see that even though they claim to try to be as one, they're doing a lot of infighting with themselves. And this is a plan that they have in motion for centuries. It says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed to the commandment of the king. And who's instead of the king today? The kings of the earth is Esau. All right, mainly the small hatters, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the 13 families. They are kings of this world. They the ones that sit above everything. And under them, you have people that enforces their vision. So what do? They come together in a think tank form to bring this plan into motion. All right, real quick. Micah 2:1, it says, woe to them that devise of iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So the iniquity is what? Sin. They put people in a dark state to know nothing so that they can move in front of you without you even knowing what they're doing. That's diabolical. Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. And their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? And that's exactly what's going on. So real quick, the video is right here. I believe I did this, but it's good to go over your host are
even worse. Smart homes. Even worse. Smart homes. They have a whole chapter on smart homes / smart cities. This one will absolutely floor you. It did me. In 1997, and this is, you can do the word search and research yourself. They predicted, not 2025, but by 2020, that people would be working from home virtually. Talk about nuclear devices causing widespread contamination, nanotech devices, this stuff was never even heard of, digital currency, and last but certainly not least, vaccination programs. I'm sorry, I got to chuckle, because if I don't, I'll cry. Vaccination programs run by organizations like the World Health Organization for a global killer that has yet to emerge. First printing, February 1997. Even worse.
Oh, so what is he stating? He's stating the future. He's stating from 1997, he was stating what was exactly what was happening today. And all the things that was happening today was predestined. It was all planned out. I believe, no, it was 96. It was 96 when the Illuminati cartel was go through. And they had many plans in motion. A lot of these things that's happening is not organic. It's not natural. It was planned. They had a think tank. This is why the scripture, I'm going back to that scripture again. It says, woe, Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel. So they're seeking deep. Their ultimate goal is to position themselves as the rulers of the world. All right, to overthrow the set order that was from the beginning. This is why I didn't bring it out, but I'm gonna bring it out now. Isaiah, Psalms 64 and 1. It says, Psalm of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So the secret counsel is the what they call themselves, the illuminated ones. All right. For the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So now let's go into the word insurrection. Regular dictionary. Insurrection. I should go to the etymon. It says insurrection. An insurrection is a violent uprising or rebellion against established government and authority involving open resistance, often with the goal of overthrowing or changing government. It is considered serious federal crime in the U.S. destined mere sedition, incitement. So this is exactly what is going on today. But they will have you believe that if you insurrect in the current state of the government, then you're going off. Now we're going to the word insurrection in the etymon. It comes from the Latin insurrectionos, meaning a raising up, derived from insurgent, or this to rise up, combining, surge. So what is he speaking of? What is the scripture talking about? What's that insurrection? What was the order? The Lord set in order. This is why you have things like, going back to Isaiah 29 and 16 now. It says, surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. So the councils that they had together was about coming against the Lord's order. All right. That's all this whole thing is about. So they pushed rebellion. They pushed, and that was something because what? They had a current order. That current order, which was supposed to be Christianity, and that what did these elites do? Not hijack. They infiltrated the powers to be. The whole order was to throw away the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. All right, this is why America was once truly a Christian nation. No, it wasn't, but that's what was said openly. It was supposed to be a Christian nation, and now they overthrown the fact of that set Christianity. That's the insurrection. All right. Matter of fact, let me go to the. So what they did was they planned step by step how they was going to take control of this world, the present world that we are in. And part of taking over was to bring disorder. Now it goes into well, this doesn't really sound that great, but I read it anyway. Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. So it doesn't sound powerful, but it's there. It's there. It says, they sharpen their tongues like swords and aiming their bitter words like arrows, which is their lies. This is all about the overthrow of the current state of the world. The fall of the West was always the objective. The infiltration of religion, politics, all that shit. Why? To insert their new world order. And part of their new world order, the ultimate game it's to trip everybody. But before they have to establish the the system and to strengthen their power. Second Ezra 15 and to the point 16, I believe. It says, well, let me go into it. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. So what is the sedition with it that AI overdrive is the incitement. So they're inciting people to try to overthrow their current present order. So once they think about doing that, then they can bring in the draconian laws, taking everybody's rights from them, and then invading one another. And it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, which is anarchy, and the course of action shall stand in their power. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, which goes into martial law and the smart cities. They create a problem, and the ultimate solution is that. All right, that's the ultimate solution. So that way, they powers that be remain in the position of power. So they had this shit plotted out long ago, way before 1995, 1997. All right, way before. All about the overthrow of what the Lord established. That's why women are in the position that they are. Men has to be a certain way. You can't bear children. I believe in a book, I have it, but I don't feel like going through it. Satan's angels talk about was it Ruski? And part of his thing was to destroy the nuclear family. Step by step of how they want to establish their new world order. So this is a plot that thickens, but yet the Lord is going to the Lord is going to take this man out of position of power, because the Lord is not dealing with Esau and these other nations. All right. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.